So I'm kind of excited for the chapter I'm going to be working on tonight. I am so proud of myself. Comic book for The Legend of Rosa. I'm going to be doing an adaptation of The Legend of Rosa. Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Jazzy Writes Stories. So today I'm going to be doing a week in my life. I'm going to show you what's it like to be a self-published author. As you may already know, I work full-time, so my hours are 5 to 9 in the evenings where I work on my stories. I've got a few literary projects going on. Today I need to submit the newsletter that I created on Instagram. I'll probably do that on my lunch break. I get an hour lunch break. And I also have to outline a comic book for The Legend of Rosa. I'm going to be doing an adaptation of The Legend of Rosa. So a comic book of that. I found someone that was interested in working with me, but he needs an outline. So hopefully, I don't know how much I'll be able to write within the hour, but I'm thinking it'll be a 25-page comic book with some bonus scenes I'm going to add to it. So I'm going to do that during my lunch break, and then I do plan to work in the evening doing another writing meetup. So catch you then. It's 6:50. I have about 10 minutes before the Monday writing session begins. It's going to begin at 7. I'm going to join the same group I joined on Thursday. I'd like to try to get an hour in. I want to clean chapter 6 of Forever in Granada. I want to fix the part about the wedding dress and add Allegra being a little rebellious in requesting her friend Luz, who's also her servant, to make her a blue wedding dress instead of a white one. And I'm thinking of adding that to the scene as well with the veil. She's shopping for a white veil, and maybe incorporate her thinking about dyeing it gold or blue or something like that. So just kind of brainstorming now. I need to clean up chapter 6. It's still very raw, the chapter, and still needs a lot more work. As we are getting closer to my deadline, I was just brainstorming, since it's only 2 weeks, the storyline, and it's a novella. I'm thinking not to be so concerned about the word count as I am about just the number of chapters. So I'm thinking about to write 14 chapters. I'm right now on chapter 6. So if I can get up to chapter 7 next week, then I can begin looking for beta readers. And what beta readers are, they are basically other authors or followers that you would find online that can look over your work and provide you feedback. So this will be the first book that I will publish that will not have an editor. I am experimenting. Not sold on the idea yet of beta readers, but because of budgeting and I have other literary projects that I'm working on, I wanted to try this out. I learned about beta readers through another author YouTuber, so I wanted to give it a shot. I'm going to look for beta readers through StoryOrigin. So once I get chapter 7 done and completed, I will post it on StoryOrigin. I'm looking for about 6 to 7 beta readers to get their eyes on it and give me feedback. From what I've researched, beta readers are pretty good at giving you advice, and from the author, YouTube author that I was following, she had mentioned that she likes using beta readers, and the ones that she finds she normally trusts and she has a relationship with them eventually. But they have more ideas than just one person, one editor would. So you'll get 6 different perspectives. So I'd like to try to have a good relationship with some of the beta readers. I'm gonna be contacting self-published authors through StoryOrigin. They normally are self-published authors, and give them my, the first half of the women's fiction novel, and hopefully they can provide me some feedback to help me clean or fix any parts that I might not have thought about adding into the novella. So again, this is the first time I'm going to be doing it without an editor, and we will see how that goes. So, getting ready to join, and I will check back with you on how I do. So proud of myself. So not only did I work on fixing chapter 6, I also went back and fixed chapter 5, added a few details about that wedding dress, and then I wrote chapter 7. So it is now half complete. Like I said before, I'm going to do 14 chapters. So chapter 7 is the halfway mark. So it's Monday today, so I still have about 5 days. I want to really clean this up, and I'll probably take with you on Thursday my process of finding beta readers on StoryOrigin. I don't know how quickly they're going to sign up, but I plan on whoever does sign up looking at their profile, making sure they're legit. Usually they are. If it's on StoryOrigin, they're self-published authors and they're respectful. But I want to make sure they have a good rapport, and then I will send it to them. Whoever applies for it. I'm hoping 6. Let's manifest it. Hopefully I can get at least 6 beta readers and get their feedback. And that'll be like my editing process. And while I'm writing, I do recall a lot of the editors would ask me questions. Like, would the character really say this, or can you write more about that? So I'm trying to ask myself those same questions as I'm writing, trying to think like an editor as well as a writer. I'm not going to catch every mistake, so that's why I'm hoping the beta readers can do that and kind of help me think a little bit more about the chapter and really think about the characters, that sort of thing. But I'm excited. I'm halfway through. I wrote about 9,090 words so far. And yeah, today, can't believe it, I wrote 1,468 words. I removed 353, but that's pretty good. I'm pretty stoked about that. And I've got about maybe a minute before we get back on and we have to share our journey. So I'm really excited. So I'll probably end Monday today, and I will see you tomorrow.
comic book outline, and I got an email from my cover artist, so I'm going to let her know which sketch I'd like for the coloring. I like both of them, but one is my favorite. And now I plan to eat. Hey, so today's Wednesday. I didn't get much vlogging done today. I apologize about that. I had to work through my lunch break, so I'm thinking today I'm going to just film for my Sunday video. I will be doing a video on traditional publishing versus self-publishing. I'll work on that tonight and then film as much as I can to try to get that video up for you guys on Sunday. But that's it for Wednesday's video. Hopefully I'll get some more filming done tomorrow. Hello. So today is Thursday, just one more day of the week. I am feeling pretty tired. Yesterday I didn't vlog much. I was working a lot on my own vlog that will be posted on Sunday. Traditional versus self-publishing. Go check that out and like and subscribe to my channel. But today I am going to be jumping around my chapters. I have about 9 minutes and I'm going to be joining my Thursday writing group. I really love that group. And I feel like writing groups are great, especially if you're self-publishing, because it holds you accountable to at least writing every day if you can, or during the week. The group that I've been going to only meets Monday through Thursday, which is great. I don't meet them every weekday, but I'm going to do that goal of at least going twice a week if I can and get an hour in. Something's better than nothing. Especially working full time, it is definitely hard to balance that working and writing. Last year I had the summers off, and next year I'll have the summers off, so it will be a lot easier for me to dedicate more time to my writing in the summer months. But as of now, I don't have that opportunity, so I am juggling both, but that's fine. Life of a self-published author, right? So I'm kind of excited for the chapter I'm going to be working on tonight. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm skipping around, but the idea jumped on me, so I just want to go ahead and write out as much as I can. Now, I had gone and visited Granada, Spain 3 summers ago, and I learned when I went to visit the Alhambra that there was a popular legend of a love story of a Muslim and a Christian woman who were sexually intimate, and they deeply fell in love, and it was an interfaith relationship, and that's kind of what sparked my idea. But I just changed it around. I had it as a Catholic nobleman and a Sephardic Jew falling in love in my story, but I kind of want to pull that interfaith relationship and the turmoil that they're going to face, these characters are going to face. I'm still kind of, again, working it out, how that would work. But in this legend that I learned in the Alhambra, it ended up with a tragic execution of the man. I believe he was beheaded, if I remember correctly. He was beheaded, and it was shocking to everyone in the city. And that actually happened just before the surrender of the Alhambra in 1492. So I'm going to kind of incorporate that legend into this chapter. I'll have Allegra mention it. But yeah, I'm excited to dive in. I'm excited to kind of explore their feelings for one another and try to get the elements of the interfaith relationships and the conflicts that they're gonna have if they pursue a relationship with one another. I'm gonna explore that in this chapter, so I'm excited. We'll see how we do.
And see you on the other side.
so I feel pretty good about this chapter. I wrote today 1,234 words within the hour. It's pretty good. I think it needs some more work, of course, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like I got everything that I wanted to say in the chapter there. Again, it's a work in progress. I'm planning tomorrow to show you guys what I will do to find beta readers for the first half of the novel. Again, this will be my very first time doing beta readers as opposed to hiring an editor. I'm doing this as an experiment to save cost, since I do plan to self-publish in September, which is a few months away. So we will see. I'm hoping if I can at least get 2 beta readers, and what I will do is I will, in exchange for their assistance and their feedback, I will reward them with a free copy of Forever in Granada when it comes out. So I will be doing that on StoryOrigin, and I will show you what I do to get, to have beta readers sign up for that. So that's it for Thursday's vlog, and I will see you tomorrow. Happy Friday, guys. Favorite day of the week, even the name of my car. So it was a very long week. I am going to, of course, have dinner tonight with my family, and I plan to show you guys the StoryOrigin. I gotta do 2 things. I gotta find beta readers, and I need to do my newsletter. I gotta find some swaps. I I send emails out to some self-published authors that might be interested in being in my newsletter, and I promote their book. So I have to do that because that's due on June 15th. This is the newsletter for the superhero series that I post online and on my website as well. So I will show you that. First, I'm gonna go have some dinner. Fridays are great because it's a shorter day. I end my day at 3 o'clock, so I get to have an extra hour to wind down. This evening, I'll do a little bit of work. All right, catch you then. So my plan is to download the first half of my romance novel. I've decided I'm going to have it as a romance novel with elements of women's fiction, just because the cover really matches a romance novel genre more so than women's fiction. So I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to download the first half of my book, and I'm going to request for beta readers on StoryOrigin. I'm going to show you really quick how to do that, and hopefully I get 2 to 6. I'm hoping 6 would be great. They do have an option of doing a beta reader to review chapter by chapter, but since I really feel like my chapters are pretty clean, I'm going to just do the whole section. So chapters 1 through 7, and then whatever feedback they want to give me on a chapter. If they want to do all 7 chapters for a feedback, that's great. But if I get a variety of feedback, I can kind of go through each chapter and work on that. So I'm going to go ahead and download it now. So you'll basically export the book on Reedsy or download. You have the option of doing PDF, which is what you'll do when you publish it, or a Word document. So I'm going to export it as a Word document first. Okay, so I downloaded it as a doc so that I can put that in StoryOrigin. And one cool feature I wanted to mention on Reedsy, a formatting option. You can hide the chapter numbers, or you can have them at the end of the book. Trim size, these are your options if you want to do a pocket, digest, trade, or hardcover. These are the heights. I always do the 5 by 8 inches. And then the template, you can do classic or the Meredith, the crimson. I think I did the classic for The Legend of Rosa, but since this is romance, I'm going to choose this one for the formatting, and you see how pretty it looks. And again, you don't have to pay for that formatting. A lot of formatting can be expensive if you get even more creative with it and add images. But since we're on a budget, I'm going to go with this. I would love to learn more on formatting and doing nice little things, but I can settle for this one. You can see it's a really pretty font for the formatting. Now I'm on StoryOrigin. I did want to mention there is a fee associated with being in this platform. I strongly encourage you, if you're a self-published author, don't have a big following, to start with StoryOrigin. I believe it's about, I think they have like a $20 a month fee or $100 for the year. I just pay for the full year, so I don't have to think about it. But you really get connections with other self-published authors. You can get reviews, ARC reviews, or advanced reader copy reviews. So when you're publishing your first book, you can have people read it just before it gets published. So when people see it on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles, they can read the reviews and they're more likely to purchase it. So definitely think about using StoryOrigin for that. You can also have a mailing list. Right now I have about 100 subscribers to my mailing list, and it grows every day. And I also can sell books through the advertisings, which I'm going to show you later. When I do my newsletters, I get like 1 or 2 sales a month, which is a lot when you're just doing this just one person job, especially since the book has been almost a year that it's been out. So the sales do go down, so it's good to kind of keep it fresh, and StoryOrigin does that for you. So enough about that. So you're going to go to For Authors, and again, we're looking to find some beta readers. You'll see my campaign planner that I do, goal trackers, newsletter swaps, which is what I do for my newsletters. I swap with other authors, self-published authors. They mention my book and I mention their book, and we either get sales or we get more followers on our mailing list. Reader magnets is just kind of giving a taste of your book. You offer maybe the first 3 chapters for free to get people to sign up for your newsletter. That's another feature. Universal book links, you have all your links. So when you do a newsletter swap, you can also add your book link so they can purchase it online. And then these are the review copies when you're looking for people to review your book. Other authors do it. And then your beta copies, which is what we're going to do now. We're looking for some beta readers. All right, so we're going to click on this, add a beta copy. And we're going to fill out this form, okay? Book title, my author name, tags. And here's what I was talking about. You can either do chapter, episode, section, or scene. And I'm going to click on section. So let me fill this out real quick. So we just finished. I put in my information. For the blurb, I wrote, in 1492, Granada, Spain, Allegra, a stunning Sephardic Jewish woman, and Diego, a Catholic nobleman, risk everything for the love the world forbids. When the edict of expulsion is issued and the Spanish Inquisition tightens its grip, Allegra faces a prearranged marriage to Ricardo, the man set to inherit her family's business. With conversion, expulsion, or death as the only options, Allegra and Diego must survive religious persecution, the challenges of interfaith love, and Allegra's grief for the life she envisioned for herself. Drawn together against all odds, will their connection defy an empire, or will history tear them apart? Okay. And then the next question, what additional information would you like applicants to include in their application message? I just asked the general question that was already auto-populated here. How many books have you read in this genre? It's kind of good to know. The default reader access expiration, I put July 31st because that's kind of the end date for myself. I want to have as much of the reviews done by this date, and I'll probably do the second half as well, section 2. And then some critique guidance. This is for me to ask the beta readers. I will ask, was there anything that confused you in the story? Were any of the scenes boring? That's kind of good to know, because we want to keep our readers engaged. And if you might like a scene very much, but they might find it confusing or not as interesting, so it's better to get that feedback than to lose readers in the end. And then, were there any words or phrases repeated too frequently? That's a common thing as well. Editors usually will catch that, so and you don't really want your readers to catch that either. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit create, and I will let you know when I get some people interested. Now we're gonna go to our newsletter swaps. Okay, and then you'll see my campaign here. This is for June, and I only have one for June and one for July. I like to have at least promoting 3 authors and be in at least one group. So I'm going to search for some swap opportunities, and we've got tags that will narrow down our searches. Since this is a superhero campaign, I try to find authors or self-published authors that do superheroes or magic. So we're going to look for swap opportunity. So some tags, we want it to, let's do magic, since there'll be more for magic. And then we want this campaign, since it's going to be for Monday, we want to find something pretty early. Ooh, looks nice. Feathers of Fading Magic. Amazon only. I'm going to go ahead and apply to this one for June 16th. And I like the Feathers of Magic one. So I'm going to tell her that I can do an exchange of a book mention. We'll do reader magnet, so I can get more people on my mailing list. I will promote her in my June 15th superhero series. And I love the Feathers of Fading Magic. So I'm sending her this swap request, and if she says yes, then I will add her to my June 15th campaign. And I also got to do a group promotion. For the group promotion, let's also do magic. This will be a group of authors. And the giveaway, we'll say a sale. And we want it again to be as close as before June 15th as possible. So this is a nice one. This is like support indie authors. And you got to look at the tags. So this is fantasy, sci-fi, romance, magic, erotic romance. The Legend of Rosa falls under this. Not so much romance. There's very little romance, but I'll go ahead and apply. I believe I applied to this one before. So the group promotion type is a sale. So increase your sales by submitting a universal book link to this group promo. This is usually when I'm doing these campaigns, I can get some sales. People click on it and they'll purchase it. I got my Kindle listed at $2.99. That's helped with a lot of sales. So I'm going to hit apply to this group promotion. And I'm going to add my profile name. And it'll be the Legend of Rosa books, link to order. And then I usually just say like thanks for organizing this. And then associate this with the send date from your campaign planner. You can always click yes. And then when will you include this group promo in your newsletter? So my newsletter again is going to be it doesn't let me do June 15th because it kind of passed, so I'm going to have to settle for July 15th. All right, we'll apply. But we do need one for June 15th. So let's go ahead and go for superhero if there's any campaigns. Free Tales of Fantastical. Start date is June 17th. End date is July 17th. Paranormal, urban, space, superhero, fantasy. This really falls into the Legend of Rosa. So we'll go ahead and apply for this one. I won't require magic, but I will ask for some kind of larger than life aspect. All right, so let's go ahead and apply. We'll do my name with the Legend of Rosa, reader magnet. This instruction says, hello, if you would be so kind, I'd like a bit of what your story is about for context and a mention explanation of the fantastical element you're using. And for fun, what's on your favorite subgenre? I think mine is probably mystery, though a good romance subplot can be appealing too. Oh, so it's a little bit more than I usually put. I think I'll just add the blurb in, and then I'll say fantastical element. There's a lot of magical realism in my book. And my favorite subgenre, I'll just say romance. So let me type that in real quick. I basically just added my blurb from the back matter of my book. And then I answered his questions. It's a fantastical element in the book is that it's infused with paranormal fantasy and magic. And then my favorite subgenre is romance. And then again, he wants to know if I'm going to add it to my campaign planner, and I've got to say yes. Otherwise, you won't be able to post it if you say no. And I will include it in the June 15th. No. So this is the problem with, I'm so sorry, guys. This is what happens when you delay things. So I'm going to again have to do July 15th. I don't even think I'll be able to get a group promo in time for Monday, unfortunately. But it'll be a short newsletter. I think I'm only promoting 2 authors. So I just kind of lost track of time. I apologize. I'm usually on top of this. Hopefully that will be enough with the authors that I promote and the group promotion that I'm in, or that I applied for. That should be enough. It'll be a shorter newsletter, but that's okay. I do need to mention that I'm going to be going to the Ithaca Book Festival, so that will take a lot of the space on the actual newsletter. I will work on that this weekend, probably on Sunday, because I got an event to go to tomorrow. I'll be going to see the New York Liberty play. I'll take some shots of that. But that is it for the week in my life of a self-published author. It was quite of an experience. I've never done a video like this. I've always loved watching week in my life videos. I've always wanted to be a vlogger myself. You've probably seen I've done a few channels here and there. I did a tutoring business during COVID, and I had a channel on teaching Spanish, but I don't do that anymore. But I find this a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy my videos. I would love to continue doing this for you. Please let me know in the comments anything in particular that you like, that you would like me to show you. Any questions that you may have, I'll be happy to answer them. And I hope you guys have a great weekend.
But I do what